Hello, this is Robert Romanello, and you're listening to the Trey Olds Radio Show. Now, here's your host, my friend Trey Olds.
Thank you, Robert Romanello. Hello, good evening, my friends and listeners and fans. Welcome to the Trey Olds Radio Show. Happy Monday. Today, my special guest is actress Miss Marion Ross. Thank you, and join us in a minute. My first question to you is, how did your career as an actress begin? Where did it all begin for you?
When I lived in Minnesota, but I had a Canadian mother, Irish Canadian woman, who believed you could become anything. And I had a crippled brother, younger than me, so I was a middle child. I think it's very important if you're a middle child that you have this tremendous drive inside of you to become somebody. So that's what drove me all the time.
Yeah. Did you start out in the theater? Were you with...
Well, I started out when my family moved to California from Minnesota, and so now I ran off and got married when I was in college in my senior year. I ran off and eloped, and so somebody from my college, from San Diego State, took me up to Hollywood right away because I run off and gotten married. So she took me up to Hollywood. She had some connections, this woman, and that's how I got started. Because then she would call Hollywood, she would call 20th Century Fox, and she'd say, well, what are you going to do about Marion? And they said, well, she should live up here, and she should, So that was started. And because of her, then by the time I was 23, I was under contract to Paramount. Mm-hmm. Pretty good, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and so your career has, sprung all over. You've done television, theater, movies. Basically, you were America's television mom, Mrs. C. Happy Days. Oh, yeah.
I know. I'm very proud to be that. Yes, right.
Yeah.
So I pretend I know everybody, And I do just enough talk shows so that they can see what I look like now, Mm-hmm. because we change as we go. But I still look pretty good,
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Do you still act, or have you retired?
No, I have retired because when I got to be about 80, because now I'm 91.
Oh,
91.
Wow.
So when I got to be about 88, I would say, what is that line? What is that line? And they say, well, it's very simple. And I said, I know, but I forgot it. What is it? What is it? So I thought, you know what, children? I think I have to quit. So that's what happened.
Yeah. But it's been a good long run, though. You've had a...
Hasn't it? Hasn't it ever? And I don't... You know what's really nice? I don't regret anything. I don't regret not being out there and, doing all this. I watch these TV shows and I think, good for you. You do that.
Yeah. Well, you're still busy in a way, You've just written a book, My Days, Happy and Otherwise. And
yes. And did you see that in the book, everybody wrote a chapter? And you know what? By the time when we were getting the book finished, Aaron was still living. So little Aaron Moran wrote a chapter, mm-hmm. and then Gary Marshall was still living. He wrote a chapter. So it's interesting to see. There was a very nice picture in People magazine, I think last week, of me and Ron and Henry and me and Anson and Donnie. Mm-hmm. It's very nice. You can look it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just started reading your book. It's wonderful, and yeah,
It's an easy read, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah. I'm a fast reader, so I'm enjoying it very much. And can you explain a little to my audience about your book? It's about how you got started and your
Well,
life, and
yes, it's about my life in Minnesota, and I have little pictures of me being young, and being a middle child, and the long cold winters in Minnesota, and the fact that my mother, my Canadian mother, I was raised to be, you can do anything you want to. And not everybody was raised that way. So after Great World War II, the whole family moved to San Diego, and we had a wonderful theater in San Diego. We had the Globe Theater, and so that was wonderful for me. And then when I ran off and eloped at 21, that's when this woman took me up to Hollywood and introduced me to people and got me started.
yeah. And that's very important. You mentioned your mother, taught you, don't, you can be anything, and that's very important. I think.
Well, yeah, can you imagine being raised by someone who would say to you all the time, "Oh, you'll never amount to anything"? I don't know if anybody was ever raised that way, but they must have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you? Were you a favorite child?
I'm the youngest, and yeah, my parents pretty much said you can be anything you want, and as long as you want to do it, and I've been doing radio interviews for 6 years. I started when I was young. I was 13. I'm 19 now. So.
Oh, really? Really? My goodness. Now, what do you want to be when you grow up? What's the goal here?
Well, I do, I've been in radio now for 6 years, and I'm interviewing people like yourself, and I've done a little bit of theater acting, stage acting, and that's very fun, and voiceovers. I haven't got into television yet. I might in the future, but I'm taking it slow, But
yes, why wouldn't? Yeah, you could have your own television show, couldn't you? Interviewing people, right?
Oh yeah. I've interviewed a lot of great actors. I interviewed a few actors back in the day, Ed Asner and Joan Van Ark.
Oh, I love Ed. He's a crabby old guy, but he's a very good friend. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a very sweet man. He was very good to talk to.
Yeah. And so you live there in Mississippi?
Yeah, I've been in Mississippi for 3 years, but I'm originally from Louisiana, more down south. I'm a Southerner, so.
Okay, a real Southerner. And you want to stay down there, do you? Is that the plan?
Well, if an opportunity comes, I'm sure I'll go elsewhere. But for now, I'm here and happy doing my radio show and enjoying every bit of it. So
that's great. Well, it's a very special culture down there. Very, very, very. Because I'm a Northerner, So when you're a Southerner, it's very different. Very different.
Oh yeah. I haven't been to a lot of the northern states. I've traveled a few times, but I've never been to Minnesota or California or anything.
Well, it's time you came to California, I guess.
I guess I've interviewed a lot of people from California, so I guess it's bound to catch up with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have an upcoming project, though. You're doing a Christmas special with PBS with Gavin MacLeod. Is that right?
Right. I think it's running currently right now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Gavin has always been such a dear friend. And at one point on the Love Boat, he called me up and he said, I want you to come on the show and marry me. I want you to marry me and be my wife on the show. I said, oh, really? Do you want that? And at that point, all of our Happy Days had closed down, and all of our writers went over to the Love Boat. So they said, sure, we'll just write Mary, and then it can be the love of your life. So that was fun,
Yeah. I've never interviewed Gavin, but I would be very interested in interviewing him, so I'll have to look into that. But
oh, he's a very, very nice man, very accessible. He'd love to talk to you, yeah.
Oh, yeah. My next question to you is, what do you find is the most challenging or difficult part being in the industry?
It's a very high-risk industry. What's wonderful, you better start really young before you know how dangerous it is. And then you've got to watch your morals. You've got to be very careful with yourself, because there's a lot of bodies strewn along the path, And I was so clean cut that it's a wonder that I ever got anywhere, because meanwhile you've got all the Marilyn Monroes and all those other people, and it's not easy, But what's wonderful is that our university system is now spilling out drama graduates all the time, and they're getting a good training, and you could either go to Broadway or you could, or television, but you pretty much have to come to L.A., I think, to get this going.
Yeah, L.A. or New York, one of those.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, New York, especially if you want to be in theater, that's the big capital for theater.
Right, but I think the thing to do now is, if you could get on a series, look what a boon Happy Days was for all of us. It just we ran for 10 years, and then it's never stopped running. I'm sure it's running now somewhere,
Oh, yeah.
So, and it's round the clock. So what you want to get onto is a television series, I guess.
Yeah, and there's a lot of television series being created. There's pilots being created and television series. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all the time. So it's exciting, and it's young people. So you've got to have a lot of energy. I always approached it like a business. I didn't wait for the brownies and the fairies to come and find me. It occurred to me that I had to make this happen. So early on, I hired a press agent. I thought, I see what this is about. This is about selling. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, networking and connections, marketing,
And marketing and advertising. Exactly. So that was the way I approached it. Although I was a very serious young actress. I wasn't going to just think you could walk around and not be a serious actor and let somebody come and find you. So I was always planning something and making it happen,
Yeah. Yeah, there's always work to be found in this industry. Wherever you look, there's always everything.
Well, you're only 19, huh?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Well, are you going to go to college?
Not yet. I'm thinking about it. But
you don't have to if you don't want to. If you're in, get a job just in the industry if you can. Stick with it. Are you cute enough to go on television? You want to be on?
I would hope so. I would hope so.
Well, your mother thinks so, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. People tell me I have a voice for radio, and so I've been doing radio, and like I said, some voiceover work. Narrations and.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's been fun, and I'm continuing to work. I enjoy it very much.
Well, it's so nice to talk to you, and I wish you very good luck with your career.